Good evening, everyone. So, today we have a very interesting topic, which is understand your teens better. And to share with us on this topic, we have a very wonderful lady and Bandita ma'am. And about Bandita ma'am, if I say Bandita ma'am is a counseling psychologist, she is founder of Healing Space, specially trained in CBT, anxiety and relationship counseling. And today she will be going to share with us what is parenting and what is relationship between the parents and teens and how we can make it better. So now I would like to welcome Bandita ma'am, and floor is yours, ma'am. You can share with us wonderful insights.
Thank you, Sweta, for such a lovely introduction. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Uh, today, I'm going to speak about one of the most interesting topic for each and every parent. That is parenting and adolescence. That is the most, perhaps, that is the most difficult phase in one's parenting life. So I will be presenting my slides now. I will be learning from each one present in this meeting, and I will take all your questions at the end of the session. While sharing my slides, if anyone is having question, can raise their hand and ask me question. So I will be sharing now. Shweta, shall I share now?
Yes, ma'am.
Or we will wait for some more time?
Yes, ma'am. You can share.
Okay. Everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible. You can click on the hide on the bottom side. There is a hide written. It's visible.
So, for everyone present here, when we speak about adolescence, it is one of the most unique and the formative stage in an individual's life. And yes, it is true that almost all mental health disorders like anxiety, depression, these all take means have their base during this period, and sometimes it comes out within 1 or 2 years, or sometimes it goes on, keep on accumulating, and comes out during the adulthood phase of an individual. But yes, most of the disorders are formed during this period of the time. So I would like to go forward. As I told now, it is one of the most precious and the powerful phase in an individual's life. So, considering the importance of this phase, we need to throw some more light during this period of life, so that we can help our adolescents to have a very bright future with a healthy mind and body, because mind is also a part of our body, so it should not be ignored. Okay, let's move forward. Adolescence growth and development. Adolescence is a period of remarkable growth and developments, a period when most of the physical, cognitive, emotional, social, and psychological development takes place. We learn to make decisions, manage our emotions, and make aware about ourselves, who we are. This is one. This is again another most interesting feature of these phase, that individual form their self identity during this phase. They become aware about their own potentials, their strengths, their weaknesses during this phase. Development in the areas of thinking, decision making, understanding, and overall intelligence. You have often seen adolescents giving their opinion in the mid of their parents' conversation. This is because of that they have developed their thinking patterns. They love to take decisions in small areas of life, understand many situations, emotions, whatever it is going in the house. They try to involve themselves into that situation and try to fit into the society during these phase. Understand, recognize, and express their own emotions and feeling. As I told now, they try to understand their own feeling, what they are feeling right now. They recognize their own emotions, that हाँ मैं अभी गुस्सा हूँ, I'm angry at the moment, and they place a lot of importance upon their emotion at this phase. And another one typical characteristics of these phase is that I know everything. This is also, you can say, a subjanta phase. They know everything, they have a lot of understanding, they have a lot of intelligence. So it is like you need to understand their emotions, and you need to acknowledge how they are feeling during this stage. During this stage also, they develop various kind of social skills. They build meaningful and sustaining social relationships. So when we talk about the development of these phase, it goes on in a 4 phases, like physical, cognitive, psychological, and social. We always talk about what are the difficulties parents are facing during when they deal with adolescents, teenager, twins, means all these kind of thing. But I don't think so. No one have ever talked about what are the difficulty teens are facing these days. As it is not easy for us, it is also not easy for each and every individual. They are going through the teenager phase, it is also equally difficult for them. During these phase, peer pressure, competition, sleep problems, anger issues, deviant behavior, depression, self-esteem, body image, stress, bullying, drinking and smoking, anxiety, effects of pandemic, self-harm, and many other. I think so. This screen will fall short if I will start listing each and every points what the teenagers face today. So there are some of the major issues during this stage, that is depression, anxiety, stress, bullying. Let us know more about that. Yeah, when we speak about depression, it is very nowadays everybody is saying it is not always like a child sitting sad, making faces, not that does not want to eat anything. It is not that. Each and every characteristics, each and every child having depression will show certain characteristics. There are also kids who have smiles on their face, and they still have they are still depressed from inside. But there are certain major symptoms of depression during adolescence, like feeling fatigue. They will always feel restless, and they will have a very low mood, continuous feeling of emptiness. I'm sorry. Continuous feeling of emptiness and hopelessness. They will always say, मैं अभी कुछ नहीं कर पाऊंगा, मुझसे तो ये नहीं हो रहा है, I'm unable to do this, I cannot do that. And they don't find pleasure in activities that they were enjoying previously, like in any sport or going somewhere or doing certain activity that they were finding it very like they were waiting for those activity previously, but now they are no more interested in that. And this is very obvious that they have a very disturbed sleep pattern. There is a change in appetite and feeling of sadness. And all these symptoms need to stay for a longer period of time. It is not that बच्चा 2 दिन के लिए थोड़ा मुंह फुला के बैठ गया तो उसको डिप्रेशन हो गया. It is not like that. As parents, we need to be very vigilant towards how our child is behaving. अगर मैं हमारा child ऐसा behave कर रहा है, तो what are the reasons behind that? How can we help? So, get your child to do some regular physical activities. Staying physically active can help to improve your child's mental health. It might be as simple as taking a 10-minute walk every day. To start with, activity scheduling is really helpful. When I talk about activity scheduling, it is not only about walking. Uh, Whatever activities kids are enjoying, like playing any games or playing musical instrument, dance, art, music, whatever forms, they need certain ways to release their emotions, release their feelings, everything. So activity scheduling will be very much helpful. And communicating with the child, understanding and validating their emotion. It is not always necessary as parents to start react when the child behave in certain different way. Why you are sleeping for such a long time, then we start reacting. Why you are feeling like this, why you are telling that you cannot do anything, उस पे भी हमने react किया. No, we need to respond to their feeling. Like, we will start communicating with the child. If you are feeling so, then why you are feeling so? What happened today, within the day, that you started feeling like that? Are you feeling this from today, or when you have started feeling such things? So we need to communicate, we need to understand, and then अगर ऐसा हो रहा है, we need to validate. Okay, ऐसा हो रहा है, then we will deal with it. We are together and we will deal with it. Then third is the most important point, that is coping strategies. Identify the coping strategies and the negative inner thought. Most of the time, children, those who are depressed, they have a very critical inner voice. And the when I talk about the coping strategies, these are the strategies that we take up when we are upset. Suppose I'm not feeling well, then I take up an activity like I keep on eating something. जब भी मुझे ऐसा लगेगा, then I will do this thing. जब भी मेरा मूड ऑफ होगा, मैं शॉपिंग पे चली जाऊंगी. So these are coping strategies. So we as a parents need to understand what are healthy coping strategies and what are the negative coping strategies. Most often these children, when they are depressed, they take up negative coping strategies like smoking. आज मन अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, तो let us go with my classmate and start smoking. I can go somewhere and keep on eating junk food. So these are basically the coping strategies that the children are taking these days. और आज मन नहीं किया तो whole day आज मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगा. I will sleep at a place and I will keep on eating something. I will keep on watching TV. So उससी से ही मेरा मूड अच्छा हो जाता है. So these are the coping strategies that we need to see when the child is showing this specific behavior in presence of another behavior. अगर उसका मूड ऑफ हुआ तो वो ये कर रहा है, then these are regarded as the negative coping strategies. Then is practicing mindfulness. Most of the time we ignore this fact of mindfulness, but these days mindfulness is really making wonders in the field of mental health. When we practice mindfulness, that means we are aware about our own body, our own mind, our own feelings, our own emotions. And when we know certain things, then we cannot drag it to a bad extent. हम मुझे पता है कि आई एम नॉट फीलिंग गुड राइट नाउ, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, तो वो टाइम पे आई नीड टू बी माइंडफुल, आई नीड टू बी स्टे काम, आई नीड टू फोकस ऑन एक्टिविटी दैट आई लव. So these are mindful. There are other mindful techniques. I will share it in further slides. And then is psychoeducating and seeking support. There are certain phases of life when we alone are not able to solve each and every problem that comes in our life. And mental health is a field which is often stigmatized. नहीं नहीं, मेरे बच्चे को काउंसलर के पास लेके नहीं जाना है, I will treat. मैं क्या अच्छी नहीं हूँ, मैं ट्रीट नहीं कर सकती काउंसलर के पास. इट इज नॉट दैट ईच एंड एवरीवन कमिंग टू अ काउंसलर और टू any mental health professional, they are means those kids are having some difficulties, that's why they are coming. It is not that only someone who is having mental health disorder they will only come. So we need to seek support. First of all, we need to psychoeducate ourselves that yes, our child is demonstrating such and such behavior. We need to seek the help of someone specialized in this field. So we then we need to psychoeducate our child that हाँ हमको जाना है. We need to take the support. Second most seen during adolescence is anxiety. That is recurring fears and worries about the routine parts of everyday life, irritability, trouble in concentrating, extreme self-consciousness or sensitive to criticisms, withdrawal from social activity, avoidance of difficult or new situations, drop in grades in school refusal, repeated reassurance and seeking approval from others, and sleep problems. See, in each and every mental health field, you can find problems in that sleep problem. You can find sleep problem because when it hampers our mind, uh, and our brain is usually designed in such a way to relax and calm to get a healthy sleep. And when our mind is not relaxed, for sure we are not going to get a good sleep. So here also there are certain points through which we can manage anxiety up to some level, like breathing exercise and relaxation techniques. There are many grounding techniques. Those with those having anxiety, even these work for people having elders having anxiety problem, like breathing exercise. We need to breathe in and breathe out, and we need to keep on counting our breathing. And when we focus on our inhale and exhale procedure, what happens? Our parasympathetic sympathetic system gets activated, which works on calming our body rather than in a flight mode. And next is practice self affirmation. Step out from your comfort zone. When the child is going through certain situation and the child is having a critical inner voice, the child there is inner voice continuously saying the child that you are not good enough, you cannot do this. So at that moment certain affirmations from outside as well as from inside is very much important. The child needs to practice certain self affirmation techniques, as well as the parents need to send that affirmation vibe to the child that no, you can do it, ye tu kar sakta hai, you can do this. And they need to be encouraged to step out from their comfort zones, because they usually afraid of things, doing certain new things. As I told, doing new things, क्यों नहीं मैं ये try नहीं करूँगा, अगर नहीं हुआ तो. So it is like giving them that much confidence that yes, you can do it, and if you cannot do also, then that's fine. Then but you just need to try something new. Then try to socialize with people. Try talking about difficulties with other loved ones or with any professionals. When you are overwhelmed with any kind of emotion, you need to talk it out to someone. You need to spill your heart out in front of someone, at least in front of an elder or in front of a family member who can guide you in the right path. Try problem solving techniques, identify the triggers, generate solution, find few more alternatives for your find few more alternatives through which you can deal with the situation. Keep a check on the negative thoughts, and then try to build confidence within the child. Give continuous positive remarks, positive reinforcement to the child, so that the child will slowly अगर वो लोग सोच रहे हैं मैं ये कर सकता हूँ, maybe I can do that. अगर वो कंटिन्यूसली बोल रहे हैं कि हाँ मैं भी ऐसा था, then try to share your story in front of your child. means telling in such a way that I was also like that, but I did this. So there are some positive role models. When you become a positive role model, the child will grab that positivity, that affirmative sentences from you, and maybe the confidence will slowly boost up and they will try something new. And this is the third most important thing that the adolescents are facing now. And this is really having a very bad picture in the life of an adolescent's negative body image. Being extremely preoccupied with perceived flaws in their own appearance, they actually believe in themselves that they have some kind of flaw in their appearance, and they keep on sabotaging their self for this, attempting to hide perceived flaws with styling, makeup, or clothes. They think there is some means flaws in their looks, flaws in their body, so they try to hide it behind clothes, behind makeup, or by styling them in something weird way, constantly comparing themselves with the appearance of others, frequently seeking reassurance about their appearance from others, having perfectionist tendency, avoiding social situations. So these are basically the symptoms that individuals having negative body image they show. So here also negative body image, we can only deal with their feeling, their thought process, then only we can reach up to an extent that this can be the burden of negative body image can be reduced. Like practicing self-care and self-affirmation, as I told previously, take a watch on the trigger point and try to relapse with the rational thought. Sorry, replace. Take a watch on the trigger point means what are the trigger point. वो जब भी ऐसा ये देखता है तो बोलता है कि मैं ऐसे नहीं हूँ. And usually this negative body image is found within girls more, but nowadays boys are also not away from this. Even teenager boys are also very much like into negative body image. Agar like looking at the role models, Bollywood, and then lot of social media platform, they also want to have bodies like their role model. And even take a watch at the trigger point when I'm telling this. Suppose while watching TV, there are certain point when that person is watching the same point, that same thought is getting triggered in his or her mind. So try to avoid those things for the moment, and later then try to replace it with more rational thoughts. Try to give a kind of rationality to the thing that that is also true, but this that is also good, this is also not bad. तो उसका जो है वो है you are you, means kind of creating a individuality within that adolescence ki you are whatever you are. And the one whom you are watching, they are trained to be like that. It is not that whatever you want is bad, but you need not have such negative thoughts regarding your body after watching them. You need to give a rationality to that thought, and then practice mindfulness. Stop comparing yourself with others. Whenever they start comparing themselves with other, maybe in a TV, maybe in a social get together, wherever, that needs to be stopped down there itself. Limit the use of social media. If social media is a trigger for them, then limit the use of social media. Then they should be taught to love themselves, like self-love. And if it does not work, then you need to seek support for your loved ones. And the next one is screen time addiction, excessive engagement in social media. Digital life starts to interfere with other important areas in their real life. It induces harmful social comparison with individuals, association with negative people, negative impact of harmful content, and decrease in social get together. जब से ये सोशल मीडिया का एरा स्टार्ट हुआ है, नाउ ए डेज इन नन ऑफ द सोशल गेट टुगेदर यू कैन फाइंड एनी एडोलेसेंस. वो लोग घर पे ही ठीक है, दे लव टू बी एट देयर ओन स्पेस, like and there are many cases you can see now in over the newspaper that due to this happened by watching certain videos, then adolescents did this, and there are a lot of suicidal games that are asking adolescents to do certain challenging games and all. And even I don't know about those games, but yes, I have read in the newspaper. And what are the negative impacts also that everyone is aware of. And next is social media spoils our personal relationship. This is very obvious. You can find this scene in your own room. Everyone sitting at one place, and each one having a mobile phone in their home, in their hand, and each one busy with that. And we don't even have time to ask other one, how was your day? So, and in the same way, the same thing, it has been transferred to our adolescents, to our coming generation. They have very less indulgence in whatever it is happening in the family. They are at their own space. They keep on watching TV or play games, whatever it is their world. That mobile or laptop, whatever we speak about, it is their world for them. And next is gaming addiction. I just told now addiction, but when we tell it as gaming addiction, when it goes out of proportion, like when they put gaming at a priority level above all relationships, safety, physical health, and many more, it affects adolescents' mental health as well as physical health too. Okay, dealing with a rebellious child. These days, we can see many parents complaining that our child is behaving in such a way. Our child is not listening to us. So, this is very obvious in each and every family scenario. So here we need to be consistent with our expectation. Whenever during the course of our parenting, we need to be consistent with whatever we are expecting from our child. What we are expecting, we are expecting this and this, so that should not keep on changing with each and every week and month. So whenever you show such kind of behavior, that will not be taken. That should be informed to that child from the very beginning. When you are going to become indisciplined and you are not listening to elders, then that will not be taken. These expectations should be well defined, given to the child. But yes, if sometimes the child fails to maintain that discipline, then the reward should not be negative reinforcement like hitting, yelling, shouting. You need to again sit, talk, communicate with the child. Whatever we expected, we have already told you, and that is not going to change. And we are expecting the same thing from you, so do not repeat it again. So whenever you are trying to discipline the child and you are doing the same thing like yelling, banging the door, the same thing the child will repeat after 1 week. And the next is try to understand and respond instead of reacting. I told you now, when we are dealing with the children's emotion, then we need to understand what is the exact cause of is this the situation that triggered their emotion, or have anything else happened in school, in any social setting, that has really something gone wrong with him, or is there any difficulty in the life of that individual. We need to understand, we need to validate their emotion, that yes, उसको ये हुआ है, इसके लिए वो बहुत ही दुखी है. So we need to work on it. We need to work on it, and we need to set a clear communication within the child and the parent. Focus on individual's behavior, not on the individual. Yeah, every time we do this, whenever the child is showing any kind of indiscipline, the child is showing any kind of rebellious behavior, deviant behavior, what we do that we start labeling the child as a mannerless child. You are not good for anything, you are this. No, here we don't need the child to change, we need these behaviors to be stopped. What we do, we demoralize the child. Here we need to rectify the behavior of the child, not the we need to work on the behavior, not on the child. So we need to make it very clear to the child that we love you, we accept you as you are, but such behavior will not be accepted. You are good, we love you, and we have a lot of feelings for you, and we can understand whatever you are going through. But whatever maybe you are going through, such kind of emotions, such kind of behavior will not be accepted. So here what we are doing, we are treating the behavior of the child, not we are not doing any harm to the child as a person, as a personality. Do not always jump to solve the problems. Okay, this is usually I can say a lot of mothers do this thing. Like 90% of child 90% of time, if the child is having any kind of difficulty, then the mother jumps into the field and solves the problem. Here the problem solving ability of the child will never improve, and it will become a habit of the child that ठीक है लास्ट मोमेंट पर तक रख देते हैं, अगर नहीं होगा तो मम्मा कर देगी. So it is like, because mothers are having that worm within themselves to become perfect, and that is really a toxic perfectionism. Because in behind this perfectionism, someone else habit is getting damaged, like they are getting completely dependent upon you. They don't have their own problem solving skills. They don't they lack completely their responsible being responsible, they are not being responsible. And in the basis of perfectioning being a good mother, what we are doing is we are jumping into the field and we are doing this solution. even Even in most of the time, the child will deliberately do certain activities, will keep things to the last moment, and will say that I won't do it because it is now high time, I won't be able to complete it. And they will have certain tantrums. Then after that, the mother is going to jump into the field, or any of the parent is going to jump into the field and solve their problem. And take time to listen. Whenever we see the child is portraying certain kind of unusual behavior, we need to calm down at that moment. We can create a calm room for us. Suppose the child has told something and we are also equally having that kind of anger within ourselves, then we need to go to a calm place, sit down, first deal with our own emotions, become healthy with our emotions first, then come out of the room and take time, ask the child to calm down, then sit and listen, sit and talk. What is the exact matter? Try to understand before labeling the child as rebellious, before labeling the child as in like indiscipline, whatever. We need to understand what the child is exactly feeling, because we don't know, sometimes the child have undergone a kind of bullying in the class, and maybe because of that there are a lot of things going in his or her mind, and they come and do this as a kind of coping strategy, that कहीं तो वेंट आउट मुझे करना है, घर पे ही कर देता हूँ, यही सबसे सेफ जगह है. And that time if we are going to react upon him, then slowly the what will happen, the child will have a very means low self esteem, low self confidence. उनको पता नहीं होगा कहाँ पे क्या करना है. They will be tangled with their own emotions. Then teach your child emotional intelligence. We as mothers focus a lot on the IQ of the of our children, but we never talk about the EQ. EQ is something equally important for each and every individual, not only a child, not only adolescents, not on each and every adults also need to have these qualities. So how we can get the emotional intelligence of the child? First element of emotional intelligence is self awareness. We need to create a kind of self awareness within the child. Self awareness is all about recognizing, understanding your emotions, what you are feeling, why you are feeling in such a way, as well as appreciating how they affect those around you. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है, and if by that emotion the other person is getting affected in a negative manner, then that is not a healthy emotional intelligence. Self awareness should be positive. उसको खुद के बारे में सब कुछ पता होना चाहिए, उसका स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, उसका मतलब व्हाट आर द पॉइंट्स वेयर ही और शी इज लैकिंग समथिंग, व्हाट आर द पॉइंट ही और सी नीड्स टू वर्क अपॉन. उसको अपने बारे में सेल्फ अवेयरनेस इज वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर ईच एंड एवरी इंडिविजुअल. आई एम सेइंग नॉट ओनली एडोलेसेंट्स. एंड द नेक्स्ट वन इज सेल्फ रेगुलेशन. रेगुलेशन ऑफ इमोशन. मुझे यहाँ पे इतना इमोशन ही दिखाना है. अगर मेरे मतलब इमोशन को जितना मुझे इधर दिखाना है, मुझे इतना ही दिखाना. देर आर सर्टन लिमिटेशंस टू दैट. I should have that control over my own emotions. And third one is motivation. There should be motivation in our personality. Whenever we are dealing with any life situations, if we are not motivated to solve our own life problem, then no one else can do that. We need to have that motivation from within ourselves. It will not come by watching any YouTube video, any Sadhguru video, any Sandeep Maheshwari video. It should come from your within. You will watch a lot of video, and then you will, after then 24 hours, you will land up with the same thing. मुझे कुछ नहीं करना है. So it should come from your within. But yes, certain kind of outward positive affirmation, you don't know, can uplift your mood, so that you can deal with your own emotions in a positive healthy environment. And then next is empathy. We should have empathy in our personality. Empathy means when we know the emotion of the other, and we experience it on ourselves, like putting our own fit in others shoes. Yes, I can feel you. Whatever you are going through, I can feel you. An adolescent should have this feeling within themselves that they can feel others emotions too, as well as their own emotions. They should have that capacity to deliver their emotions in a perfect figure to the other person, that yes, मुझे ऐसा ही लग रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है कि क्या लग रहा है मुझे पता नहीं, I am feeling this way. And the next last one is social skills. That is very much important. We need to have certain social skills, how to behave in a particular setting, how to talk with others, how to build relationships. These are very important. And then we are on the last slide. We need to be very vigilant towards our child's behavior, as early identification can help us to save the child from serious damages. Okay, we have talked about a lot of symptoms, we have talked about a lot of things what we need to do as a parent. But कभी कभी ऐसा होता है, जब तक हमको पता चलता है that there is some difficulty, there is some change in behavior, there is something different, तब तक क्या होता है, the damage is already done. So we as parents need to be very much vigilant. Not that वो माइक्रोस्कोप लेके उसके पीछे पीछे भागना, like helicoptering. We don't need to do that helicoptering, but we need to have a vigilant eye towards each of their behavior, emotions, feeling, the way they are talking, how is their mood, particularly having a vision over their mood control and all. So that कभी कभी क्या होता है ना, एक महीना हो गया मेरा बच्चा ऐसा कर रहा है, 2 महीने हो गया, 3 महीने हो गया. When we are vigilant na, we will immediately start seeking support from someone, at least an elder in our family. So by that, what will happen, when we will start talking about it, we will have a clear vision of it. And for sure we will seek support whenever it is necessary. Then is find a healthy way to deal with our concerns with lot of patience and perseverance. When we are dealing with adolescents, we need to have a lot of patience and we need to have a lot of perseverance within ourselves. मैंने 3 बार बोल दिया, 4 बार बोल दिया, no, their mind is continuously evolving and they are continuously growing, their mind is continuously changing. So जैसे हमारा ब्लैक बोर्ड रहता है, every time we need to write the date and the day there. So it is just like their mind, every time we need to keep on reminding certain positive things to them. Then build a healthy rapport, try to talk about their concerns as well as understand your child. This I have already told. We need to have a very good relationship with our children, and we need to know when we need to be permissive, when we need to show authoritarian, when we need to be authoritative. We should have a balance in our parenting. It's not that always we are permissive. चलो तुझको जो करना है पूरा करो, पूरा करो, पूरा जब उसको टीनेज आ गया, जब वो कर रहा है चीजें, तभी all of a sudden we come and say abhi teenage ho gaya, abhi band kar do. They are not like TV that we will change the way we want. So whatever we are doing, what kind of parenting we are showing, we need to have a balanced parenting. We need to have permissive parenting in certain fields, and we need to have so authoritative figure in certain other fields, and have trust, acceptance and respect for the child. Yes, when we talk about the respect for the child, we don't usually do that. We means we ignore that factor. But during adolescence, the child's emotions, the child's space should be respected. Yes, agar sometimes we will find that the child will close the door and will watch the TV. Then the child will do certain things. When his friends will come, he will close the door. So we need to have that trust within our children that yes, they are safe inside that room. So let them be there. But you can be vigilant as a parent, whatever they are doing. You can be vigilant towards their activities, but you just cannot interfere. You cannot disrespect their own personal space, because it is the time when their self identity is growing. And acceptance and trust, when I speak about acceptance, we need to accept each and every decision. We need to accept each and every kind of perception the child is having. Whenever the child is starting to speak between two parents कि मुझे भी बोलना है, मुझे भी बोलना है, then let them speak. We may not accept what they are saying, but let them speak, because when they will speak now, they will give their perception. At least from that we will know exactly what is going on in their head, exactly what kind of emotion feeling they are having in their own mind. So likewise we may not take their, and at that point, if we do not take their decision, if we do not listen to their perception, it will happen that always the authoritative figure will give their decision. We don't have any word, and slowly when they grow up as adult, they will have certain kind of personality. They will have the fear of speaking in front of any authoritative figure. So we need to take their perception, and we need to accept that. We need to have trust on our child, and we need to respect their own personal space. And last is, we need to seek support when there is really difficult phase going in our adolescence life, because every time it is not easy for a parent, because sometimes what happens is the parent are themselves are empty, are stressed out, so maybe they cannot give the proper guidance to the child. So they need to take the support of someone experienced in this field. I am so sorry, just a minute. So whatever struggles our adolescents are going through these phases, and so let us work together towards this, as I am written. Let us work together. We should not allow these struggles to become a part of their personality. कि वो तो डिप्रेस्ड बंदा है, वो तो उसका तो एंजाइटी है. So here I have shown a picture of an iceberg. So whatever we are seeing in the life, in the behavior of an adolescent is the tip of this iceberg, and there are lot of things, lot of emotions, lot of feelings, lot of kind of, I can say, lot of behavior hidden inside. So we as parents need to find these feelings from inside, and then this will automatically go. And whenever I speak about parenting, I can say there is no book for a good parent, but each and everyone present here in this meeting today and who want to understand their child better, they are good parents, because they are continuously evolving and they are continuously trying, making efforts to understand their child. So I believe everyone present here are good parents. There is no manual for a good parenting. So I would like to end here, and I am open for a Q&A session now. Anyone having any question can ask me.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Bandita ma'am. And one thing which I here want to mention, like I, as a parent, a sister, and a brother, and an elder, also a parent. When I have my little brother, I believe, like like a parent, like authority, that kind of relationship. So, friends, I open for Q&A. If you have any questions, you can ask. Yes, Amita ji, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, Bandita. That was good hearing you. A lot of things I have come to know. I have two questions. One, there are different age group kids. Are you able to listen?
Yeah.
See, one is I'm talking about the age group of 10 to 12. Nowadays, these guys are very much addicted for the videos called GT5 and all, where the game is continuously going on and one speaker is speaking about the game and all. And when we tell that what is the sense in that, watching those videos and all, right? They are simply, my son, in fact, he simply said, Mama, there is a 26 million viewers on this.
Mm.
Okay, so I say, so do you think all are fools? I said, I don't tell that all are fools, but in the population of 1 lakh, 1 crore 25,000, 26 million people are free. So how
Yeah.
to deal such things? Because my son is so, though he is doing his homework or he's visited the school activities or anything and all, but he keeps those videos, that particular videos keep on going, that fellow is keep on talking, and he enjoys that. What fantasy they get? I wanted to understand the psychology of a child.
See, like that psychology, I can compare. You can understand as a woman, when someone is coming and gifting you with some perfume, a bunch of red roses. What kind of happiness you are having at that moment? Actually, a hormone called dopamine is released in the brain. When we love something, when we love seeing something, the hormone dopamine is released in our brain. Then we start enjoying that. कि जब भी मुझे रेड रोज का बंच मिलेगा तो मुझे इतना ही खुशी मिलेगा. So the same thing, same kind of happiness they are deriving from those videos. And that is, as I told, the picture and the scenario is quite different from that of when we were like teenagers or adolescents. So the thing is that we need to have a watch and control over means for how much time they are watching that. Because many kids, even I can talk about my kid, he is also watching that. But we can have a control over the time they are watching. And obviously there is nothing means to learn from that video, but the only thing is that that is giving a pure satisfaction to them, they are enjoying. And this has grown during the pandemic, when the outside any kind of enjoyment was not there. They started developing their as I told before, that coping strategy, this has become a coping strategy, and now this has gradually become a kind of addiction for them. Like मुझे ये देखना है, GTA 5 का वीडियो देखना है, मुझे Minecraft का वीडियो देखना है, so I need to watch this. उसी से ही मुझे खुशी मिलेगी. You may take them for a movie. After that also, when they will come home, they will start switch on the TV, and at least for 15 minutes they will watch them. And they are having a crazy fan following for all those YouTubers, or we can say gamers or whatever. They are having a very crazy fan following for them. So it is like
That's
we
what
can
I told. You guys are simply sitting and fooling yourself, and those people are earning.
but
That
they don't
even something if
understand
it is a
such.
productive, at least you would have said. See what he asked me, I'm a fan of Big Boss. So if I watch now, it has been started in this session. So when I watched, he said, why do you watch? I said, I like mind games. I like, learning minds of the people. So I feel fantasy in that how the people are playing their game and their minds are working and all. So he said, I have a fantasy in this.
Hmm. So it is like that only. We can take our own examples. There are certain things that are unproductive, and we like that. But yes, as they're adolescents now, they don't know what is good, what is bad for them, how much time they need to spend. उनका studies खराब हो रहा है. They are not aware about what are the consequences of that. So we need to make them aware about the consequences, that you watch, but you have to stick to certain limitations, and beyond that limitation you cannot go further, because it is going to hamper your studies. And वो लोग तभी भी क्वेश्चन करेंगे, तो तुम
That is
तो
what
देख
I
ले,
am doing.
हमारा तो एजुकेशन खत्म हो गया है.
No,
वो
that is
हाँ या या
that is what I am doing. I am trying to maintain it a time period. Whenever he needs a break, I feel like giving him a break, or I feel like for a couple of hours he was very working hard towards his activities, the daily school activities and all. Then I feel like chalo, let's give the break and let him see and get refreshed by seeing all these videos and
yeah
all.
I don't know
My second
exactly,
question
but
is this is with the
yeah
adult coming from 16 to 20.
yeah
The only thing is, for example, the performance during the exams and tests and all, a kid cannot perform same thing every time, right? There will be ups and downs in their life during the exams or unit tests or something and all, right? For example, in the recent one, if the did not perform in a particular subject well, and then how to cope up ourselves and as well as the kids with this situation? Because if it is a board and all, each and every parent as well as a student, they get so tensed.
but what is the age of the child? Sorry, I was unable to hear.
I'm talking about, for example, 14 plus
Okay.
kids, highest
Uh,
kids, like 10th, 12th, and all.
Okay, but this is the behavior we need to see. Many means kind of we need to see whenever the exam happens. Does this happens, and is this found these days only, or it was found earlier, or it was not kind examined earlier, but now you can see it. Like means what I need to. You need to elaborate. I just could not get that.
For example, let me tell you one thing. If a kid is performing good in the unit tests and all, and when it comes to a term one and a board candidate who has to write a board exam finally, right? So if they are not scoring up to the mark, if they are scoring very below the levels, how to cope up with the situation? It's a tense situation, very tense situation for a parent as well as student also.
See, when
So
it
how to
comes
understand the
to
behavior?
when it comes to the securing of marks, na, we need to see a lot of things. Like, is there any kind of learning disability in the child? What kind of problem the child is facing? What is the reason behind means scoring less mark, or below the belt mark or whatever, what is the reason behind it? Is she or he not able to write his or her paper properly? Finding difficulty in writing, finding difficulty in learning things, we need to take a test, like it is called Wechsler's intelligence test, and you need to seek the support of someone like a professional, and they will do a intelligence test. Then from that we can find if there is any kind of learning disability within the child. That may be a like of kind of hurdle in the life of the child in performing.
Sorry to interrupt you, Bandita, but if it in a case, in a scenario where the student was a good student, was a good student actually, right? And once upon a time, suddenly in the term exam, in the final exams or in the upper exams and all, he didn't did well, and that was not expected from him. Then how to fuck up the child for the next level?
Then
He get demoralized, right?
yeah,
Even the parent gets demoralized.
yeah.
So how to buck up the
More
child?
than that, more than scores and grades, I can see that we need to means we need to first acknowledge what the child is feeling. What is the exact feeling? What are the reasons why there is a downgrade in their in his grades? Why he is not able to concentrate? Suddenly, if it has happened, means you must seek support and help the child, and or if you are close to them, you can do a open communication, like what is the exact problem that the child is having. If the child is sharing, it's okay. If the child is not able to share, then you can seek the support of someone experienced. Then maybe after talking with the child, they will be able to understand. But if there is a sudden fall down in the grade, then you can means you can go to any counselor or psychologist, clinical psychologist, and do certain tests. Then you will come to know. Maybe sometimes it happens that learning disability takes the face of different, means comes out in different phases. It is not exactly that the child cannot write proper alphabets and all, having learning disability. But in certain areas, what will happen, they will say everything, they won't be able to write. They can write everything, they won't able to tell anything orally. So if it is a sudden fall in the grade or number, then you can seek the support.
Okay, Bandita, thank you so much. It was good time talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Banita ma'am. It's a wonderful answer. Yes, friends, if you have any question, you can ask, you can unmute yourself. And Dharmendra sir and everyone, you have any inputs, you can also add on. From one side, from my side, there is one question. Like for labeling, sometimes what happen is some relationship, some families have do not, parenting, parents fighting, or the student is, average kind of student, and not parents not label, but the environment, and sometimes the elder brother, elder sister, or younger brother, younger sister, to do as a, like they label, that also affect this brain, brain of the child. So how there, but in that situation, how we can improve, we can help any kid. Yes.
Yeah, in that situation also parents have a big role. When they need to rationalize the thing, that there will be a open communication within all the family members, where the other siblings will be asked that why you are labeling in such a way. And at that point, the other one, and at the victim side also, means there also we need to know their emotion. उनको भी खराब लग रहा होगा. It's not that कि sibling है तो खराब नहीं लगेगा, खराब लग रहा होगा, और that will start piling up from the very childhood. That will start piling up, और क्या होगा ना, एक दिन either फटेगा, और it will become a core belief of that child. Like वो चाइल्ड का कोर बिलीफ बन जाएगा, मैं तो ऐसा ही हूँ. क्योंकि पेरेंट्स भी अगर कुछ भी नहीं बोलेंगे, तो मे बी पेरेंट्स आर ऑल्सो सपोर्टिंग देम. इफ दे विल नॉट से एनीथिंग ऑल्सो, जस्ट दे विल इग्नोर. then it will become a feeling of the child that मेरे पेरेंट भी उसको कुछ भी नहीं बोल रहे हैं तो मे बी वो सही होगा. So these things happen. So here also the role of parent is to validate his or her emotions and to talk with other family members, maybe sibling, whosoever maybe. They will talk in front of everyone. What is the reason why you are labeling like that? And at that point, the parents need to show the strength of this child to others, so that at least some of his self-confidence will be boosted up. And parents should not allow other children, other siblings to label their own child in this way, because we might feel that yes, it is okay, बच्चा है, ऐसा बोल दिया, बच्चा है. But sometimes it happens कि वो थोड़ा symptom, मतलब थोड़ा इकट्ठा होके it becomes a kind of mountain, a burden. So it should be stopped then and there with an open communication.
Ma'am, if such a child is brought to a counselor,
Okay.
the one who is labeled,
Okay.
and by the siblings, and even if the parents they're not working sensibly, then if the counselor tries to motivate the child and strengthen his willpower to be tolerant and develop virtues like forgiving, compassionate, self-faith, self-confidence, self-belief, won't that work? Because there are certain things in the environment which you cannot control, and there are certain things which you can control. You can take your responsibility. You can't take the responsibility of all in the surroundings. If parents will cooperate, siblings will cooperate, everyone will understand you. If the counselor tries to strengthen in that particular client, that be a giver, you give them respect, you value them, and be strong in willpower, tolerant, and all those virtues, won't that work?
That will work, but up to some extent, because if the child is staying in a continuous triggering environment, then it will be difficult for the child, first of all, because a child who is an adolescent have just evolved his own self identity, और तभी ही उसके सेल्फ आइडेंटिटी पे बार बार क्वेश्चन किया जा रहा है, बार बार ये हो रहा है, तो it will somehow it will weaken. But in such a point, what we will do as counselor, we will strengthen the feeling from inside. मतलब वो बच्चे को ही ऐसे ट्रीट करेंगे that उसका ही सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, उसका सेल्फ एस्टीम, उसका सेल्फ मोटिवेशन पे ही काम करेंगे, जबकि वो जो बैकग्राउंड में जो भी उसका ट्रिगर पॉइंट्स है, मींस व्हाटएवर द लेबलिंग्स, व्हाटएवर इट इज देयर, so he will be able to deal with all those things. मतलब the thing is that, see, today in a social setting, हमारे घर में भी है, हमारे अपार्टमेंट भी है, there are a lot of possible areas where we go and interact with people, and people are having a lot of kind of labels for us. ये तो ऐसी है, वो तो वैसी है, but are we getting affected by those labels? No, we only get affected by labels when those labels are given by someone we love, like our family members, our friends. It's not that रास्ते पे कोई भी आ जा रहा है, हमको कुछ भी बुला दिया, हम उसको उल्टा सुना के आ जाए कि चल मैं तो ऐसी नहीं हूँ, वैसी नहीं हूँ. But when these labels are given by our family members or someone we love, then those labels work on our self-esteem, our self-confidence. वहां पे हैम्पर होता है, हमारा सेल्फ कॉन्सेप्ट हैम्पर होता है. So here what we will do as counselor, अगर वो बच्चा ऐसा अब्यूजिव एनवायरनमेंट में रह रहा है जहाँ पे उसके मम्मी पापा हो, या फिर उसके भैया हो, या फिर उसके फैमिली मेंबर्स हो, अंकल आंटी हो, कोई भी हो जो कंटिन्यूअसली उसको पोक कर रहा है, सो एट दैट पॉइंट हम वो बच्चे को ही सिखाएंगे कि यू नीड टू मीन्स kind of enhance your emotional intelligence, or we need to strengthen him with lot of psychoeducation. Like, you cannot control others' behavior, but you can control your own behavior. Means that behavior chart is there, what we can control or what we cannot control. So in that cannot control area, that others' behavior is coming, So we don't have any control over others' behavior. So we need to strengthen our own strengths, and we need to work on our own weaknesses. So उसको इतना सेल्फ सफिशिएंट बनाना है कि दैट ही कैन डील विद दो सिचुएशंस एज एन इंडिविजुअल, क्योंकि आगे चल के ये तो फैमिली एनवायरनमेंट है, आगे चल के ऐसा ऑफिस में होगा, सॉरी, ऑक्यूपेशनल सेटअप में होगा, वेयर ही विल हैव टू डील विद ऑल दिस थिंग्स. सो ये खाली फैमिली एनवायरनमेंट में ही नहीं, सोशल सेटअप है जहाँ पे उसको ऐसा कंटिन्यूस मिलेगा. सो फ्रॉम हियर ओनली द चाइल्ड नीड टू बी सेल्फ सफिशिएंट, देन वी कैन वर्क ऑन इट.
Wow, wonderful answer. I really appreciate. Yes, Dharmendra sir, you want to add on some inputs, like anything?
I would like to compliment Bandita ji. बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम रहा. नमस्कार. And really the need of an hour. अगर आज की सोसाइटी में देखा जाए तो this is a very important topic, and all parents, most of the parents of adolescents are coming to me that this is my problem. This is the problem. You have very nicely elaborated, but in fact, some of the cases which I have gone through, it's a very stringent and beyond understanding. That's called, you can say, extreme behavioral cases. Recently, there was a newspaper cutting where a mother stopped the 15-year boy child from using the mobile. He went to the kitchen, he took up the knife and he stabbed the mother, and mother got killed. But one of the Vadodara incidents, there is a one more aspect of it nowadays, that with whom our children are, as you have already covered that point with whom, but nowadays there's a love angle has also gone into it. So in Baroda, one case was there where the boyfriend and girlfriend, actually, they killed the mother and father of the girlfriend, and they vanished actually. And later on, they were caught by. So these are the very extreme cases where the external forces are brainwashing the brain of the child. Maybe like so many things are happening, and that's why I would suggest every parents now. We have been talking about the parental controls, many ways. Who are the friend, where they are going, where they are spending the time, how much screen time they are spending. But now there's some new concept has come that parental openness. Because as you said, sometimes parents are telling नहीं ऐसा ही होता है, ये तो ऐसा ही होता है. ऐसा नहीं है. उनको समझने के लिए आपको घर में एक रूम बनाना पड़ेगा, ओपननेस लानी पड़ेगी. Allow them to speak. As you rightly say, वो बबल होता है ना, बबल, उसमें हवा भरते जाओ, फिर एक भड़ाक से गुब्बारे फट जाता है, बराबर है. तब तक उसमें एक साइड से अगर आप पिन से एक छोटा सा छेद कर देंगे, आप यहाँ से हवा भरेंगे, वो वहां से निकलते. That venting is necessary, and that venting is possible when only that conducive environment of the house is there, when acceptance is there. And I think that kind of approach by the parents will definitely help in understanding that what their children's feeling is there, how they can be modulated, what kind of support they are requiring. Okay, it is not that, because आपको मैं बता देता हूँ now, since it's a very, our psychologist group people can understand. Otherwise, अगर हम जैसे भी काउंसलिंग की बात करते हैं या कहीं पे भी हम लोग गोइंग टू ए साइकोलॉजिस्ट की बात करते हैं, तो लोग अरे वो तो दिमाग से खराब है, इसीलिए उसको साइकोलॉजिस्ट के पास ले. दैट्स ए जनरल फिनोमिना एवरीवेयर. सो पीपल आर स्टिल स्केयर कि अरे इसको साइकोलॉजिस्ट के पास क्यों लेके जाऊंगा, मैं काउंसलर के पास क्यों लेके जाऊंगा. So they still people have that kind of reservation, and that's why people have to understand. मैं कई parents को बताता हूँ. So that kind of openness is required amongst the parents for acceptance, the new ideas, new thoughts, new problems, new issues they are going through, and then only amicable atmosphere में हम लोग अच्छी तरह से इसको address कर पाएंगे. Thank you very much. My compliments to you. Wonderful program, very nicely covered. ये ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जिसके ऊपर में बहुत सारी बातें हो सकती है, बहुत सारे issues, but you have covered almost everything in your presentation. So nice of you. Thank you very much. Sweta, thank you very much for being a part, inviting me in the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dharmendra sir, for adding your inputs. And really, I really appreciate Bandita ma'am covered every aspect and the real life scenario, how the coping strategies, eating one, emotional eating, and everything, relationship building, how this behavior coping strategies, kids and students, even adults also, people, if it's not taken care, earlier, it the same way happen in the adult, and role model, a wonderful thing, a role model. If parents are role model, become, if parents are educated and understand this, and they become role model, क्या होता है ना कि बच्चा जो है वो देखकर ही सीखता है, वो अगर
Yeah.
आप करेंगे गलत तो ना बताने से नहीं होता, इफ यू डू नॉट टेल ना. So that is really wonderful presentation, Vandita ma'am.
Thank you.
So grateful. नीलम मैम, नीलम जी आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
The same thing, whatever Shweta you have said. It was a very nice session, and very rarely we find such sessions, and we are lucky to be part of this group. Thank you, Bandita ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It means a lot when you start. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vandita ma'am. And yes, well said. Like, we have to improve. We have to build the inner stamina of anyone, any person. That is wonderful. And I really like everything in this presentation and need to implement. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And yes, every Thursday, 8 p.m., we have our learning hour, so that general public, every one of your family member who can understand Hindi, English, lots of speakers, every local language we will cover, so that every general public must understand that there is a need of counseling, there is a need of support out there, like Dharmendra sir mentioned. So our platform initiative is to build this, to break that gap, to fulfill that gap, and bring that closeness, so that our society, our world become a healthy in every aspect. Thank you so much, Bandita ma'am, and thank you, Dharmendra sir, Neelam ji, for adding your inputs, and everyone for joining. Surely share your feedbacks and the
Thank you,
chat
Shweta.
box.
Thank you so much. This is one innovative way to fight with the stigma attached to mental health field.
Yes.
So thank you, and thank you again for making me a part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vandita ma'am. And yes, surely lots of sessions from you we are
Yes.
going to have in future. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, everyone.
You can sign off.
Yes,
now.
did you announce that every week this way, this day, every week this day at 8 o'clock?
Yes, Neelam ji. Most probably this day we have fixed. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can
Thank
log
you.
off now.
God bless you, Bandita ji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.